let me introduce you to our current general manager at Sugarloaf. Most everybody does know John Diller, and John has announced his retirement earlier last year, and we can't believe it after all the years of having you around. John, you're as much part of Sugarloaf as the bag is, just about. But with John tonight is KarlStrand. And John, let me pass on the honors to you to introduce the new incoming general manager for Sugarloaf.
Thank you, Nadine, and it is my pleasure to introduce all you viewers to my, he's my assistant right now for another 2 months. But seriously, we're making the transition around the 1st of April, and KarlStrand's going to be coming in. And for you viewers who may not know some of this, I'm just going to take for a minute to kind of talk about Karl. We started the process of trying to find my replacement back about 6 months ago. And we started with a couple of dozen applicants and kind of narrowed it down. And obviously Karl's our choice, our first choice by, quite frankly, a landslide, in my opinion. Karl started skiing at Sugarloaf years ago, brought his kids up here, fell in love with the place. But his background, I think, is really varied, and it's one of the things that probably really sold us on the fact that he's the right guy for Sugarloaf, not only because he likes the place and knows it, and obviously has worked here. He was our VP of lodging for 2 or 3 years, a few years back. But his background, he's a CIA graduate, and that's the CIA stuff that involves food, not spies.
Not
Right.
spies.
And so he came from the culinary side and worked at places like Le Cirque in New York, and so knows the food and beverage business. And then obviously got involved in lodging and was head of lodging for both Sugarloaf and Sunday River for a number of years. And the past 2 years, just to try to get him a little more rounded, he's been the mountain ops manager at Sunday River for the last 2 years, which is obviously what Crusher does here. So he really comes to Sugarloaf as the general manager with food and beverage, lodging, and the whole mountain ops part behind him. And I think that says a lot to what he can bring to Sugarloaf. So I'm very comfortable that we've got the right guy. And with that, I'm going to sort of pass it off to you folks, and I'll shut up.
Yeah, that's a pretty good introduction,
Yeah,
Karl.
that's great.
He covered all bases. Sounds like
Yeah.
he's a very good recommendation.
That's awesome.
So what are your feelings about coming on board?
I'm ecstatic. I love Sugarloaf. I've loved it for many years. John was saying I used to come back ski here in the late 80s with some buddies from high school, and then I would come up here with my family, and all my kids learned to ski here, so they're Sugarloafers too, and they're very excited when they heard the news. A lot of emails flying around how great it is, so really excited about it. I'm just excited about coming back and working with everybody here. I think it's a great group. I know a lot of people here, and trying to reconnect now, and I'm really, it's a great opportunity for me, and very excited. My whole family is.
Good. Where did you hail from originally?
Outside of Albany, New York.
All right.
Yeah, way back when. Crushers are New Yorker too, so we kind of
Right.
we don't talk about it too much.
The snowy part of New York,
the snowy
too.
part of New York. Yeah, we go upstate, not downstate.
Right.
And then actually I went to college in Bryant University, and I was out in Hawaii for a while in my hotel stint doing some management trainee work, and then I got into the hotels and restaurant business, and then John hired me to work down at Sunday River. You can say that right here, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And originally, it's kind of a funny story. So John, I was working down in New Jersey, and John called me up and said they had an opportunity to come up and be a general manager, food and beverage director, and I thought he was talking about Sugarloaf. And he said, well, it's at Sunday River, and I thought to myself, I wasn't that familiar with Sunday River. So that was about 12 years ago, and it's been 12 years now, and so it's a 12-year wait, but now I'm back, I'm at Sugarloaf finally, and I'm really excited about it.
We're glad to have you and glad you're looking forward to it. What are some of the challenges you're most looking forward to?
Well, one of the things I want to do is whenever there's a change, especially with leadership, we need to communicate a lot to kind of like figure out, where my head's going to be at, or where the direction the company's going to. So I've been trying to reach out to a lot of the employees here and going to their meetings and so forth. We're going to have what we call town hall meetings where employees can send in emails and ask questions, and we'll answer them in kind of a town hall forum. And also I've been trying to reach out, or will reach out, to the community and CVA and other stakeholders in the community to kind of get their impression of where we are, where we need to go, and just try to listen to everybody and get an idea where we're going to go.
That was one of the reasons why we wanted to offer you the chance to come on here, because everybody is really curious to see who you are
Right.
and what you expect to bring to the table.
Right.
So please take advantage of us whenever you have anything you want to get out.
Absolutely.
It's a very warm and caring community here, but they also want to make sure whoever is coming in understands that Sugarloaf thing that we have going on here, because it is such a unique mountain, obviously.
It's great, and Sugarloaf has such a long tradition. A lot of great, actually general managers, years and years of that. So it's not like we're going to come in and change a lot of things and be radical about it. We have a great plan in place, the 2020 plan. We're going to look at that, and not saying that we don't have things that we can improve upon. We'll look at that too and try to get input from everybody, and then revamp it and look where we're going to be in the next 10 years or so.
The 2020 plan, so far, so good, knock on wood. And going forward, how do we see that developing?
Well, I think, again, you just revisit it. There's some specific things in each of the, whether it's lifts or something to do in the village that we'll keep looking at. We're going to do it in a logical way where it's, thrivable. We still have to make money and profit way. So we'll look at good business decisions and then try to keep growing it along in that direction. But I think it's a great plan. I mean, you always have to. A good plan needs to be looked at all the time and revamped and changed when necessary, so we'll continue doing that.
Cool. Well, we have you, Karl. I thought I'd ask you about what some of the summer intentions are, both short-term and maybe longer-term.
Well, I think that summer viability is really important. Like, it helps us in our winter months, too, to make have a profitable summer, or at least try to stop the going the wrong way sometimes.
You can call it bleeding.
Bleeding. I didn't want to say that. So we're looking at some short-term things this summer, but I think some of the things we're also looking at, some of the other resorts have had success with some of these bigger events and things. So we're trying to look at some of those and see what we can do, and maybe have a couple of little ones, see if they have some traction, and then try to grow them. The success of the golf course with all the new renovations we've done there, and try to build on that. Conferences are always great. We're trying to look at some multi-week conferences, so we have some buy-in for every year they come in, so we don't get these conferences that come for 1 year and rotate out again. And then weddings, again, weddings are a great opportunity. So those are all the ones we're going to be looking at.
And you've got such a supportive town working behind you too. The Carrabassett Valley Group is pretty awesome as far as wanting to do whatever they can to work with the mountain to make the whole area rock and roll.
Yeah, there's so much passion here. It's some of the places that I've worked, it's just there's so much more passion here, and people love working here. They're very they're passionate about what goes on there. They're opinionated sometimes, but they love the place, which is, we can see that all the time.
Better to have an opinion than not care.
You're talking about Sunday River, right? When you
No, I don't talk about Sunday River at all anymore, John.
Well, John, what do you think about all this? You looking forward to retirement?
Yeah, I am. I mean, I've got some anxieties. Obviously, I've been here for 40-something years, right or wrong. But no, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's time, and I think some new blood's always good. Sure, there's going to change is always a little, makes people nervous for a bit, but I'm comfortable that Karl's he's going to come in here, and people are. I already know that people are very comfortable, particularly in our senior group, because they know him and they've worked with him, and his biggest challenge, quite frankly, is going to be trying to top this year, because we're having a gangbuster year, even with all the cold that we've had, and numbers have been down a little bit this past week because it's been so darn cold, but all in all, we're off to a great start this year, and obviously the next piece is the next 2 months, but I'm really encouraged. The skiing is great. We've had so much snow. I wish some of that snow in Boston would be somewhere else, but
I think they wish that too.
Yeah, it's amazing to think that somebody in the ski business would say there's too much snow somewhere, but it's unfortunate. And anyway, no, we're really encouraged that we're going to have a great year this year, and obviously it's all about you folks that are your viewing audience, that you're the ones that are paying the freight, and hopefully you're getting out there and really enjoying it. I do have to admit, I didn't get out there today. It was too darn cold. But I'll be right out there tomorrow. I think we'll have a big day tomorrow.
I'm
So-
hoping we have a big spring with all the snow down
Yes.
country and all this weather. Hopefully people are just going to say, you know what, we'll go later when it's a little bit nicer.
Yep.
Hopefully. They won't be playing golf in March like they are in Massachusetts sometimes, so
Right.
we got
That's
that
right.
one pegged at any rate.
right.
Well, fellas, I'll let you carry on with your Friday night. Thank you both so much for coming in. And
Thank
thanks,
you.
Carl. Welcome to Sugarloaf.
Thank
we
you
hope
so
you really
much.
enjoy your time here.
Oh,
Wish
you'll
you
love
great
it.
success
I
for
already
us
do.
all.
Thanks.
Cool.